Hello, wonderful humans, and welcome back to Sarge Style. I'm Sarge, and it is so great to have you here today. If you are new to my channel, welcome. It is so great to meet you. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. I hope that you all are doing as well as possible given everything going on in the world today. Whew, am I right? With that said, today's video is going to be a little bit different because I just honestly cannot talk about my health, about my journey, about any of the more heavy topics right now. The collective consciousness of all the weight of everything that's happening in the world right now and in the United States, it's just really affecting me. It's a super intense time and I feel zero motivation to talk about other super difficult and intense things that I have gone through. So we're gonna do something totally random and playful instead because it's my channel and I can choose what kind of videos I want to make, and this is the video I feel like making today. So with that said, I have always loved the BuzzFeed, so many weird things Americans do, or whatever, all of the lists about basically the rest of the world's perspective on Americans and our culture through movies and TV. So I'm gonna just be reacting to some of these BuzzFeed lists as I'm a US citizen, born and raised in Colorado in the United States. And my degree is in cultural anthropology. So analyzing and talking about culture is my favorite thing ever. So we're gonna do that and let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so the list I'm gonna be reading from is 27 things Americans do in movies that make zero sense to everyone else. Let's find out. Okay, number 1. Do Americans actually refer to tissues as Kleenex? Like, is it an actual thing or a movie thing? That's an actual thing, 100%. So Kleenex is actually a brand of facial tissues. So we generally say Kleenex when meaning tissue. It's something that personally I have tried to change in my vocabulary because I don't buy Kleenex brand, but I still call it a Kleenex. So yes, we actually do call face tissues Kleenexes because I think it's the first brand, the biggest brand, I don't really know, but it's a brand. So we tend to do that. Go, I got nothing else for you. Number 2, do Americans actually shout, "Spring break!" when on spring break? Some of us, yeah, some of us do. I would say this is probably more the high school, college aged individuals, but yes, I have absolutely myself walked out of high school and we're all like, "Wow, spring break! Woo, 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 woo!" That's real. Definitely when I was growing up, MTV would do spring break, MTV spring break with Jenny McCarthy or whoever it was. And yeah, no, people totally scream spring break. That's real. But it's also not everybody. It's in very specific situations. So it's sort of like in a party situation or when you're exiting the building going into spring break, everybody's so excited. Yay, not no more school. Okay, number 3. Why do Americans on TV hand someone a gift and tell them what it is before they open it? Surprise ruined. I think that's for the movie. I have never done that. Well, I actually have because I'm bad at keeping secrets. But yeah, surprise ruined. It's not a common thing. We don't normally do that. I think it's for the sake of the plot of the movie. It's just easier to say, "I got you a teapot," instead of them having to go through the time of opening it and then reacting. I think it's really just a movie thing, but I don't know. Maybe there are people who hate surprises and fun. I don't know. That's not a common one though. No, we don't generally tell people what we got them before they open it. Okay, number 4. Why are Americans in movies / TV shows obsessed with hardwood floors? I didn't know that 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 was a thing in movies or like I didn't know that that was a thing. I've never noticed people being obsessed with hardwoods. I personally prefer the aesthetic look of a hardwood over a carpet. I think they're easier to clean, all of those things. I don't, but like, why are Americans in movies and TV shows obsessed with hardwood floors? I have no idea because I didn't know that that was even a thing. So let's move on. Number 5. Do Americans actually have school buses, or is that shit just like in movies or something? No, we have school buses. Yellow buses, big yellow school buses. We have them. I rode them. Do people in other countries not? How do y'all get to school? Like, how else does one get to school? In the bigger cities, a lot of kids will use like the public transportation, but I grew up in the suburbs just south of Denver, Colorado, and I rode a bus. So yes, we do have school buses, and they are yellow and massive with the seats and everything. I can still remember how the like seat smells. It's a very specific school bus smell. Yep, we sure do. Okay, next. I don't get why Americans in TV shows say, "That's her," or "That's him," when there's a knock at the door. Like, how the F do you know? Because it's TV. I think you're overthinking that one. Or because they invited someone over and then they knew that they would be arriving at that time, and so they're like, "Huzzah, that person's here." I don't know. This one's kind of funny to me. I've definitely been at my parents' house, and like when I know my brother's gonna be there, like he and his family are on their way, if I hear somebody walking up to the door, then it's like, oh, that's them. I've totally been like, oh, they're here, that's them, because I know I'm like expecting them. So if you're expecting somebody, it makes sense, but I don't know. Do Americans actually have to climb ropes in PE, or is that just in like every movie ever? Oh no, boo, we actually have to climb ropes. I don't know if they still do. When I was in elementary school, I had to climb a rope and I hated it. It was horrible. Absolutely, the way that they portray it in movies and TV shows is very accurate in terms of at least my experience with gym class and ropes and all of that. I forgot to put my phone on silent, sorry. Yes, in my experience, it's very similar to how it's portrayed in TV and film, where everybody gathers around and watches each person try to do it. And the PE teacher was like, for me, they were like really trying to put me up and blah, blah, blah. And I was terrible at it. I think I got like 2 inches up. Yes, we do climb ropes in PE. I don't know what PE is like in school now, but yeah, we actually climb ropes, and it's stupid and dumb and terrible, and I hated it. Okay, next. Do Americans actually address their sister as sis, or is that just on TV? Because I physically cringe hearing it out loud. Yeah, I do. I mean, not everyone, no. Definitely not everybody. It's not a hugely common thing, but I call my sister-in-law sis all the time. She calls me sis. I think I call her sis more than I actually call her her first name. But for me, I also grew up with just a brother, and so I was so excited to have a sister when my brother got married that I just was like, hey sis, hey sis, hey sis, I finally have a sister, woo! So, but yes, that's a real. We say, some of us do say sis, and Lee calls his brother bro. Hey bro. And I call my brother bro. So yeah, we do that. Sorry to the person that it makes cringe. Do Americans actually call their fathers sir, or is that just on TV because it's effing weird? It is effing weird, and yes, some people do. So, sir and ma'am are terms that Americans use as a form of like politeness. It's a respect thing. So I would definitely say that in terms of like if you're being lectured by your parent, you would say like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. There are certain families, I think, that the children do refer to their father as sir. They're more formal, but not everybody. It's definitely not the norm, and it's not what every family does. It's definitely not what I call my dad. I don't think I've ever called my father sir. Granted, he's a hippie sculptor, so like, I don't think anybody's called him sir. But yes, some people do. It's not common though. It is not like a normal cultural thing. It's more based off of like that individual family dynamic, or if you're being lectured, yes sir, I understand. No ma'am. Yes ma'am. Like, it's a respect thing. Next one. Do Americans actually drink from those weird water fountains in school? Yeah, and they're gross, in my personal opinion. Yes, we do. They're in more places than just schools. They have them in parks, they have them in shopping malls, they have them everywhere. I have always found them to be exceptionally disgusting because, especially in like elementary schools, kids would put their whole mouth on it and all of that. I always just thought it was a really gross thing because you're all like sharing the same cup kind of, but yes, they are everywhere and kids drink from them. Okay, next. This one is really common. Do Americans actually have a huge spread of food on their tables for breakfast, like fruit, pancakes, coffee, waffles, toast, cereal, etc.? Or is that just movies? Because I stumble into the kitchen and grab a bowl of slightly stale Cocoa Puffs and try to eat them with my tongue. So the second portion is more realistic. I don't know anybody who on a day-to-day basis would like come into their kitchen and their mother or whomever would have prepared this like elaborate spread. I've never seen that. I've never seen that, and I also think it's really weird when I see that in movies because like I've never seen it in real life. If we were to have a bigger breakfast, it's usually like just waffles or like it's just one. No, we don't do that. I've never seen it. Okay, next one. Do Americans actually have take your daughter to work day, or is that just a TV show thing? Absolutely yes. And the reason for Take Your Daughter to Work Day was actually as a way to empower young girls and to show them that there are jobs that they can do other than a secretary or a nurse, because when women were finally starting to enter into the workforce, it was sort of like you could become a nurse or you could be a secretary, and those were sort of the only options for women. So it's been a part of the women's movement, women's liberation movement, whatever you want, feminism movement. But yes, I participated in Take Your Daughter to Work Day, and it was fabulous because I just got to hang out with my dad in the studio all day. But it was usually the father that took you to work. Hey, do Americans actually have the audacity to climb on their beds with their shoes, or is it just something they do in the movies? Yeah, some of us. I think it's nasty. I'm like, take your shoes off at the front door. I don't want you bringing that ick into my home. I think it's absolutely hideous and disgusting when people have their shoes on the sofa or when they have them on their bed, but people do. I don't think that's just an American thing. I think that's just a person who doesn't feel like taking their shoes off thing. That seems more like a human experience than an American experience. It's not like a common cultural practice to go to bed with your shoes on in any way, shape, or form. Especially in terms of like film or television, they're depicting sort of it creates sort of an element of a lazy character or someone who doesn't really care, is very like, blah. So, but I mean, I've never done it. I've seen people do it. It happens, but I don't think it's just an American thing. Okay. Oh, I get this one comes up on this list a lot too. Do Americans actually measure distance in blocks, or does that just happen in movies? Absolutely 100% yes, we distance measure. We measure distance in blocks. 100% yes. I've actually attempted to figure out like what a block would be in like the metric system, how to like give a comparison, but I haven't figured it out an equivalency yet. But we 100%, like absolutely yes, 100%. Like describing a distance in blocks is extremely common. Okay, next one. Do Americans actually have to shout taxi when they get a taxi, or is that just in movies? I don't know. I take Lyft and Uber, so I don't know. I've only been in a taxi like 3 times and I don't remember. I think you usually just like wave your hand. I don't, like when I was in New York City forever ago, when I was having to hail a cab, I don't remember being like taxi. I don't think it's as dramatic as it is in films, but again, I don't know. I don't take taxis. If I need a car, I use ride shares. So I don't know. But I don't think it's quite as dramatic. I think it's something that's dramatized for film and TV. Okay, next. This one's really weird. Why do Americans in movies never get food poisoning? Why do they always have a bad reaction to some shellfish? I have no idea what you're talking about. There's not a name on this. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Bad reaction to me sounds like an allergy. I've never noticed that people don't say food poisoning when they have like bad shellfish or something. We say food poisoning. Like if I were to go to a restaurant and then get very ill from their food, I would say that's food poisoning, not I ate bad shellfish or whatever. So I don't know. I don't really understand this one. I haven't seen it in movies. Maybe I've just never noticed, but we say food poisoning. I love this one. I love this one. By the way, do Americans actually drink from those red Solo cups? Like, do they exist? Yes. Yes. The infamous red Solo cups. They're super real, and they are at every party, every cookout. Like, yes, they actually are everywhere. I don't think I can think of a single party I went to in college. Yeah, I can't think of a single party I went to that didn't have those. Even now, like, yes, people use them all the time. And specifically the red Solo brand cups, yes, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. If you get a keg, you get a pack of red Solo cups. Like, yeah, 100%. That's super real, and I'm not really sure why we're so obsessed with those cups, but we are. It just makes me think of like going to a kegger and the like half beer, half foam, cheap keg in college vibes. That's like, I don't know, but yeah, we do use those. Next, do Americans actually go on dates at 18 with people they haven't met, or is that just in the movies? Yeah, people go on dates. Like online dating. Online dating didn't exist when I was in high school or when I was 18, but you would get set up by a friend or whatever. Yeah, we would. It would always be, though, in like a public place or often in like a group setting. So if you were set up on a blind date at the age of 18, oftentimes it was in like a group situation. So a group of you were going to the movies, but like 2 of you were sort of like, hey, you guys sit next to each other. Yeah. It's called a blind date, meaning like you haven't met the person that you're going on a date with. Blind dates are very common. Okay, next. Do Americans really throw house parties every Friday night or when their parents aren't home, or is that just in the movies? Yes and no. So, yep, we do throw house parties. That's a big thing, especially in high school. And when your parents go out of town, it is common for kids to throw house parties. In high school, I had a friend whose parents were out of town often, and she would throw a party every time her parents were gone, and we would drink out of those red Solo cups. I didn't drink alcohol in high school, but I think I drank twice. But yeah, Kids do. However, they are not nearly as big and wild and crazy as portrayed in movies and TV. They do, like, parties that big do exist, but it's not as common. I mean, like, in the movies, there's like 200 people. No, but I definitely went to a lot of house parties in high school, and it would be like the parents weren't home, or the parents didn't care, and so they just let the kids go in the basement. And there's definitely times like the neighbors will call the cops, and then all the teenagers are running through the streets trying to not get arrested for underage drinking, which you shouldn't do. But yeah, no, kids really, every Friday night, no. Maybe some, but it's more of it's not like every single week, but yeah, it's very, very common. House parties, yes, 100%. Next one. Okay, watching an old movie, and I gotta ask, why do I, this is so cute. Okay, why do Americans have blenders built into sinks? The idea terrified me as a kid. I think I remember a gremlin getting put in one. So they're not blenders, it's called a garbage disposal, and we do have them. And the reason for the garbage disposal or blender in the sink is that if you have food waste go down the drain, that will grind it up so it goes through the pipes better, because not all sinks have that mesh catcher, like, thing that catches the food so it doesn't go down the pipes. So the garbage disposal, or what this person is referencing is the blender in the sink. Yeah, we have those, and it's to just grind up any food that could be clogging the pipes. It just grinds everything up. Yeah, like, I think a gremlin did get sucked into one. But yes, they are very, very real. We do have them. They're not blenders. They are to help with dishes and pipes and that kind of stuff. Why do Americans love chit-chatting at open parking lots? So it's not just in movies, huh? Haha. Why do Americans love chit-chatting in open parking lots? Because we're just chatty people? I don't know, like, I don't really know what this is referencing. Again, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what this, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know what this person is saying, so I can't really respond. I wouldn't say that we have a national passion for chit-chatting in a parking lot. I think it's probably just an easy place for people to chat on a movie set. I don't know. That's not a super common thing, and somebody said it's not just in movies. I don't know. I still don't really know what they're referencing. Maybe it's like more rural. It's a hard word to say. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know about that one. Why do Americans in TV shows always seem to drink bottled water instead of just from the tap? Must get expensive. Yeah, it must, because that's real. A lot of Americans drink bottled water for various reasons, and I know plenty who drink exclusively bottled water. Not as much so now, but definitely, like, in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was very common for people to drink exclusively bottled water. I agree, it's super expensive. Some places the tap water tastes terrible, but we always just had a water filter. And so my parents are like hardcore environmentalists, so we weren't allowed to drink plastic water bottles. We weren't allowed to use them, but they're very, very common, and yeah, that's real. I wish it wasn't, because that's why we have like a plastic island floating in the ocean. But yeah, we do drink bottled water instead of tap water. I don't know why. Why do Americans on TV name their dogs Buster? Like, what's he bustin'? That's cute, that's funny. I don't know, because it's a common dog name. I don't have any idea. It's a common dog name. I don't know. It's just a name that people name their dog. Sorry, I don't have much to say on that one, because that's just like what people name dogs. I don't know why. Next one. Why do Americans in TV shows always say, "Hey, listen," before they say something serious? Oh, I guess it would be more like, "Hey, listen." Why do we do that? In movies and TV, it's again probably more like writing where they're trying to create a tone of seriousness by saying that, but I've absolutely been like, okay, hey, listen, we got to talk about something. So it's, I think, more just like a phrase, like a pattern of speech. I'm not really sure. I don't have an answer for you on that one. Sorry. But we do say, hey, listen, before something serious. I don't know why. I wish I could answer that one for you, but I can't because I don't know. Language is weird. This one's amazing. Okay, why do Americans love shrimp cocktails so much? I see it in so many TV shows and movies, and I don't understand how it's appealing. Me neither. It's nasty. I hate shrimp. It's one of the very few foods in this world that I will absolutely not eat. I refuse to eat it. It's disgusting. But shrimp cocktails really popular here. I don't know why. It is always around. People are always eating it. People get real obsessed with it, with the nasty tartar sauce. I don't know. I think it's gross too. It's weird. Growing up, my grandmother would always serve shrimp cocktail before, like when we were doing like cocktail hour before dinner. I remember being like, this is so gross. Why do people like this? I don't know. But shrimp cocktail is huge here. People love it. They go nuts for it. I don't get it. I think it's disgusting. I'm with you, Fiona. I don't understand how it's so appealing. Oh, honey. Gross. Okay, what is pink eye and why do Americans keep getting it on TV? Okay, how do I describe what pink eye is without totally grossing everyone out? So pink eye is an infection in your eye, unsurprisingly, and it is caused by getting fecal matter in your eye. So if you like don't wash your hands properly after going to the restroom and then you touch your eye, it can happen. I knew somebody whose roommate farted on their pillow and then they got pink eye. Sorry. College-aged people are comical. But so yeah, pink eye is an infection in your eye. I don't know why people on TV get it a lot. Maybe because it's like a pretty common thing for younger kids to get. I've had it, but I don't know that it's a common thing on television. Maybe it is. But yeah, it's an eye infection. Okay, next one. Do Americans actually eat pancakes for breakfast every single day, or is that just me watching too many TV shows? I don't know anyone who eats pancakes every single day. That seems like a fast track to diabetes, in my opinion, but I don't know everyone's diet. Pancakes are very popular here, so maybe people eat pancakes every day, but I don't know anybody who does. And I mean, yeah, no. It's usually like a weekend thing. So like the family will have pancakes for breakfast on the weekends. No, we don't eat pancakes every single day, as far as I know. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. I think these lists are really fun. I think it's so interesting to see other people like around the world's perspective of Americans and American culture, because how it's depicted on television is hilariously different, but then there are some things that are weirdly accurate. So yeah, that's my response to this BuzzFeed list. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you want me to continue making videos responding to weird things Americans do, I'd love to. I think that these are really fun. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And please remember to always be kind to yourself, be kind to others, spread love, not hate, spread compassion, not judgment, and no matter where you are in this big, beautiful world of ours, I hope that you are staying safe and that you have a fabulous rest of your day or night. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.